Good morning, Patriots. I'm across from the dry dock vessel, Brunswick, Maine Police Station. And I'd like to talk about October 7th, Christopher Longvick and Scott Stewart. I believe that the chief is ultimately responsible because there's maxims of law about he who doesn't stop unlawful activity, right? The gun draw, October 7th, was standard practice by Brunswick fucking police. And I know that because of the January 17th traffic stop by Patrick Scott, where he drew his firearm on me for getting out to fix my light bulb. He stopped me for. And I'll tell you, when I snapped my headlights on at 11 o'clock, the light bulb went pow, and it was gone. And I was in fear because I knew I probably wasn't going to make it home without having an issue because it's late at night. That's when I get out of work, right? I knew that I was in trouble, right? I know right has become a tick now. On and on I go. Thanks, Patriots. Brucey Dyer, Zach Perry, TJ Watson. Are you ready? You guys ready to mutiny this place? They have become destructive to our rights. 5 years of trying to get them to stop has proved unsuccessful. They dig deeper. They hide more. They lie more. We, the people, have a right to control the instrument we have created. The Brunswick Town Council and the Brunswick Police conspire together to destroy all of our rights. Every single one of us. Right? They are attempting to bury the assault on the 17-year-old girl. December 18th, Advanced Auto Parts attempted to unalive one of the people. They say an oath to uphold our rights. This is offensive, right? They want to bury it like they did Garrett Decker so that that foul officer can go to some other town and assault someone else and attempt to unalive them. This is gonna stop. We, the people, are broadcasting every bit of this. You can't do this to us. Right? Oh, it's an employee problem. That's what the town's going to do. All he has to do is resign, and then he can get a job somewhere else. That's bullshit. Right? He committed treason by doing that. Section 42, 12203. He was yelling and intimidating her to get back in the vehicle and drive. We think you're drunk. We're going to give you an OUI. And you get in there and we're going to arrest you. Get in there right now. And she refused. Good job, Patriot. Right? Nearly cost her life. Could be permanent injury. We don't know that. Attempted to use the pavement to unalive somebody, and now they're going to make it an employee issue. He'll resign, and he'll go to some other town and destroy someone else's life, as he destroyed my life, my family's life, left them on foot on the side of the road, with lies in his ticket. No product was dragging under the car. That wasn't a crime. You lying sons of bitches. Dan City Auto versus Pelkey. You get a Hertz rental car agreement, lawsuit, and you give the police station a true bill when they impound your vehicle because you're the title holder. You're the title holder of the vessel, right? And they're taking it under Admiralty Maritime Law. The judges don't want to admit that because we're not in the military, right? He's committing treason just to do it in the first place. The officer's committing treason to impound your vehicle. I don't care if the sticker is out. None of that matters. If they're traveling in their Fourth Amendment peace, do-da-da-da-dee, and they're not bothering anybody, do no harm, no foul, right? It is fouled when you put your fault lights on for the purpose of overtaking a distressed vessel, a broke-down motorcycle, August of 2025. I talked to the guy last night. He's on new hire. I got his name and everything here. He's supposed to, please, George Johnson, make sure, he's allowed to, come on our page. He says he wants to post video. I gotta find it. His story, he showed me video, a brief bit of it, last night. He was all smiles. I talked to him. I was like, yeah, it's a good deal. You get to just jump in your vehicle, start it up, and leave right on time. You gain 2 hours of your life back by coming to this different facility rather than the big shit place down in Bath. I do not dare say the name of it because they will retaliate against me. And one of my supervisors came up to me last night and told me he's good friends with Adam Gray. Adam Gray, late in 2023, called police for help, 911. Someone stole my firearm. Here comes the boom, right? Yeah, I want some help. Somebody took my firearm. I'm pretty sure it's the neighbor down the street, right? They came in and took it because he has PTSD and is a veteran, right? So Andrew Fitzpatrick showed up and arrested Adam Gray, put him in handcuffs. He's got PTSD, right? He's on full benefits for PTSD. He can't work or do anything. And you put him in handcuffs and took him to the hospital because you didn't like the words coming out of his mouth. Freedom of speech. They took his firearm because they thought he was weird. Right? I featured most of his artwork. Oh, can't find it. Alex something. Oh, I think I know where it is. I started response for the March 9th summary judgment. They didn't have time to acknowledge my yesterday's stuff they received. I understand that, and they were proceeding for the March 9th stuff. Oh, I can't find his name. I thought it was open to that page. Anyway, Officer Hodgson and another officer came upon him overtaking a distressed vessel. His bike had broke down. His friend was there, jump starting him. He just got the bike started, and they made him stand down. and impounded his vessel. Took it. Took his bike. I think it was a Honda something. 750, I think. One of the specials or something like that. Well, put him on foot. Right? With their fault light. Turn their blue lights on. Yeah, we're going to have to impound this. I don't know if it wasn't registered. He didn't tell me that. He did have a ticket number. I wrote that down too. So I am trying to respond pro se to the court cases. Court cases 246 and 283, the original one. Cantrell 1 and Cantrell 2. Right? Cantrell 3 would be a good thing right now. Who's that one? Might be Officer Ward. He was good. He identified when he came in my yard in July of 2025. With his body-worn camera that was running. Thank you. We had a good discussion. That's up on YouTube if anybody wants to watch it. I think it's under the Bryce Cantrell page. Bryce Cantrell, YouTube. You know, we all have our problems. I have my problems with uncontrolled speech. Stuff just comes out and make noises and sounds, and a lot of times I don't even know what's happening. The March 9th, March 9th, 2023, the beginning of the jaywalking ticket and stuff like that. The wrecker was making weird noises, and I was doing it too. I didn't even know it. Later on, when I watched it, I was like, what the heck is that noise all the time? And I realized it was me. I had no idea I was doing it. Absolutely no idea. Alright. Come on, where did I find that? Wild thing. You make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. Nichols. Rubber ducky on my Jeep. Beat, beat. Patriot, passion for freedom. Live free or die. Celebrate my freedom. The tip of the spear. No fear. Roll the dice. Take my chance. Home of a hero. Or in a box. Chasing cops. I'll never stop till I drop. Getting a save takes me higher. Want respect? No authority till I hurt someone. Kick rocks. Think piggy thoughts. Yeah, that's part of a song I wrote. Going outside. So last night, it would have been midnight to 1 o'clock. SAG Sheriff, ICE patrols. We're on Route 1 from New Meadows to Nequasit, making multiple traffic stops, one right after another. They stopped black Honda Element. I got my notes. Oh, I might have left them at work. Anyway, I got to stay for overtime and do 2 hours of tool repair in the nice warm building before I had to go in my Jeep. That was when I was becoming extremely ill. Had a great time doing the tool repair. Geez, I think I fixed, I inspected 40 or so tools. I rebuilt maybe only 5. Encrypted transmission, 155, 377.
553, go ahead. Copy clear, Central Lane, service 805.
Where did I write that shit down? All right. Oh yeah. Well, anyway, there's a maximum law. It's part in Latin and stuff. Pretty difficult to remember the whole thing, but the idea is that Scott Stewart, in 2020, it was standard procedure for officers like Christopher Longbeck and Patrick Scott. They thought nothing of drawing their firearm on people. If you got out of your vehicle, it was standard, normal practice for Brunswick police to draw their firearm on you. Right? It's he who doesn't stop stops is as if he did it. Right? I brought that to the attention of Chief Stewart. Right? You ain't supposed to do that. Right? We the people who haven't caused any harm over a light bulb, you're going to draw your firearm? Right? Jolene Anderson Russell just asked the question, but she was getting out. It was standard procedure before October 7th, 2020, for them to draw their firearm and make people get back in their vehicle. 100%. And I called the chief out on it the very next day at 9 o'clock when I made my phone call. Hey, saw a gun draw. You promised me accountability after my February arrest in August on the telephone. You said next time something happens, we're having dash cameras put in. Every police car, September 4th, will be equipped with WatchGuard camera systems. Nothing lost ever is their promotional hype. I got that, I believe, on Google Photo. Screenshotted it. I was like, wow, they never lose anything. If a kidnapper happened to have passed the traffic stop and you had that dash camera system recording, it'd be there forever, right? Stored electronically, and only the Attorney General can look at that. The police don't. Got movement. Let's get in this patrol car, sorry. Okay, that's how it was supposed to work. I immediately contacted the Attorney General, the town office. This is what's going on. John Eldridge never responded to my emails. Or if he did, eventually he did start responding. and saying, telling me that none of the phone calls were recorded between him and John Eldridge when they conspired to bury all of the stuff that I was claiming happened all over town, right? Now, I believe that the October 7th incident made policy change, and they stopped drawing weapons on people who got out of their vehicles at traffic stops, unless there was exigent circumstances where they believed them to be armed, right? We had the incident at Rusty Lantern where the guy brandished a BB gun that looked like a firearm. Okay? Patrick Scott appeared afraid to draw his firearm. I wouldn't have had a problem with that, right? Joshua Bernier, we found the firearm. He skittered it under the corner of a snowbank. I walked right by it, missed it. I was helping them look for that firearm. Right? The kid brandished it. There were a whole bunch of witnesses. I interviewed them. Patrick Scott put his hand on, as he approached the guy, had his hand on his firearm. But he didn't draw it. He had every right to draw it. That guy brandished a firearm at somebody else. You have a belief that he's armed. I took that as, don't be afraid of the camera. You're doing the right thing. Right? So I think that told me they'd initiated some kind of policy change. As I requested, hey, stop drawing firearms on people. It was standard practice. Christopher Wongvik didn't do anything wrong, really. Right? She was swearing and cursing. He was swearing and cursing and drew his firearm to put somebody back in. That was standard procedure in 2020 before October 7th. Right? Right, Chris? You never hurt me in any way, shape, or form. You got me out of handcuffs twice when other road pirates were torturing me. Right? I didn't do anything wrong. February 23rd, 2020. I told Adam Merrill right to his face, I have liver disease and I can't drink at all. I am on a special diet to save my life and preserve my life because of this poison fucking food. Right? That's right, I'm on my way out. I got liver spots on both arms. I got lines up and down my fingernails that show that I have poor nutrition, even though I'm eating the best food I can to preserve my life. I have open sores on my feet where the built up toxins in my body are leaking out into my socks all the time. Open sores, dyshydronic eczema. I have it on my back, on my arms, red patches. I develop blisters in minutes sometimes, and those blisters contain the toxins that are in my body that are leaking out of my liver into my gut. I am not fat. I am ill. He's got a ride along or something. I don't know if you saw that. So, two sheriffs did drive by. I blew the horn at them, turned my lights on, but they didn't stop. One was Cumberland County Sheriff. I was hoping they were going to pull in and talk to me. Like I said, 155, 377, their alternate channel.
Officer CC2 Pace and Otisfield first responder stand by for a PD accident at 23 Michaels Way in Otisfield.
155. Let's see if it's on my digital. There it is, 155, 775 on my digital scanner. Is that encrypted too?
Now we know the truck is empty.
All right, so there's maxims of law that the chief of police, who allows his men to continuously commit hostilities on the population, is responsible for what his men do. Right? Gun draw was standard procedure, regardless if you were armed or not. Right? When can officers use deadly force like that? Right? Has to be exigent circumstances. Right? Has to have a belief that you're armed and dangerous to draw his firearm, a deadly weapon, because he's armed and armored. If you got a cupcake at the school and you're being bullied like my daughter was, and the officer that shot the guy in the wheelchair hopping on one foot drew his firearm in the school because my daughter threw a cupcake at him. Yep, they were alone in the room, and she was crying because she was getting picked on by someone she thought was a friend, and then, turned tail and turned treason on her. Right? I'm offended by that. The school officer should keep his thing holstered all the time. Right? None of those kids have freaking firearms. Right? You gutless coward. A cupcake. Seriously? Drew a deadly weapon? In the school? What fucking good are you? You're supposed to stop other people from coming in there and unaliving our kids with firearms. That's your purpose. We gonna shoot the cupcake out of her hand?
Same place, Jake, right here.
Right? That's all hearsay. Can't say anything about that, Mr. Camtrell. Yeah, I can. Well, I certainly didn't hear anything on that channel on my scanner. That's a $400 digital scanner I bought as soon as they encrypted. And all of their advertised channels were broadcasting nothing. 155, 370 was what broadcasting the mutilated transmission on digital scanner. Right? Upgrade your radio and get a new one. Yeah? You're still hiding those transmissions. FOIA 18 USC 2071 federal crime custodians to willfully conceal, mutilate, falsify public records. You can FOIA request the transmissions car to car, car to station. Not that these road pirates will provide complete documents of that. The only one I got that was complete was for my February arrest, where I suspect my neighbor called Patrick Scott and said they're partying over there and he just jumped in his truck. And they proceeded to speed to my location to intercept me, coming out of College Street on Sills Ave to intercept me. They came in a hurry. I was like, whoa, there's the cops coming. Police car occupied 2 times. Right? We'd had a dispute with my neighbor, and I've made friends with him since. Right? Over his dog crossing onto our property, growling and barking at us. My wife was attacked by a dog when she was a child, right here in Brunswick, Maine, bit in the face by a Dalmatian, nearly ripping her nose off, right? To have that dog come over and growl and then run away if you tried to pet it. Come here, nice doggy, right? That's offensive, right? So we put an electric fence up to keep his dog out. Ha ha ha. Right? Now we can feel safe in our own yard. Right? So, just before a thunderstorm, I believe he came over and he yanked the cord out on the electric fence, leaving it laying on the ground during a thunder and lightning storm. Lightning struck and destroyed every electronic piece in my house through that cord. Melted the cord right in half, right? Destroying the entire electric fence system. Destroyed PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, all the phone cords inside the house, nearly burning the house down, right? Commander Paul came over and talked to me about it, right? And he says, you should get closed circuit home television system and mount it on your house, and then you could catch them if they ever come on your property again. Commander Paul is the reason that I have CCTV cameras at my house. I went out and got some. They are still functioning. Right? You see what I mean? This has been building for years, and I believe in 1996 on Pleasant Street, I was pulled over for speeding. There was a Lincoln Town car in front of me that was going faster than me, and he pulled my 71 Le Mans muscle car over and wrote me a 15 over ticket, and that was Commander Paul Hansen. And when I got out of the vehicle, he drew his firearm on me. Right? Because I just got back from Florida in 94 after living there for 7 years. And when you got pulled over in Florida, you got out with your wallet, your registration, your insurance card, and you sat at your back bumper. And you handed the officer all the stuff. What could be safer for the officer? Right? Think about it. Well, Florida, it's nice and warm out and stuff. Most people are in a t-shirt and shorts. Right? You get out, there's no way you're going to have a firearm or hurt the officer or anything like that. I applauded it. I was like, this is fine. You know, as long as I'm not handicapped or something. Right? That's what happened in Florida. And then when I got here and I did it, he drew his service revolver. Get back in the vehicle. Drew his gun. It was automatic. Got it out. Then was it 2004, the Niedermeyer shooting at Cumberland Farms? Two of our dear friends were in the parking lot when the shooting occurred. The woman had a 1911 pistol, which is about 10 shots, I think, 8 or 10 shots, magazines, and fired a shot at the SAG sheriff or Cumberland County sheriff, shooting his flashlight off his hip. Commander Paul Hansen, not commander at that time, probably a lieutenant or something, came around the corner of Cumberland Farms, Cook's Corner, I think, and fired 3 rounds, 121 feet, full investigation. I have that information. Shot her in the neck, head, and chest. 3 shots. None of the shots went wild that I know of. Protected the rights of the public. Unalived her. Hero move, Commander Paul. Right? The woman had committed robbery. Driving around Niedermeyer or whatever her name is, something like that. Right? 2 of my dear friends were in the parking lot, witnessed the whole thing. They were blown away, devastated, right? But they survived. They were saved by Commander Paul, right? That's a pretty good shot with a service pistol. I think they had upgraded then. What do they got now? Glock 23s. Back then it was probably the Beretta 9mm. What is that? 12 shots? Something like that. 121 feet with a pistol, and you put 3 shots in, right? Neutralize the threat. Hero Commander Paul, probably after that he was commander, right? Saved a fellow officer, saved everybody in the parking lot. No shots went wild. No public danger. There's a video out right now of an officer in a chase, and he's got his AR-15 out the window, and he's shooting on the highway where people are passing by all over the place. You know he's got zero accuracy. AR-15 out the window, and he's shooting at a fleeing vehicle for some minor frickin' deal. I think, running from police. You're allowed to run from the police, right? And they're not supposed to shoot you dead. They're supposed to shoot your tires out. I just posted that one the other day. Was that Illinois? Right? With the vehicle fled from fines or arrest or something like that, and had a child in the car. I think the officer 20, or he did a combat reload. That was the Chili DeCastro video. That's outrageous, man. Right? I think those people survived, maybe shot in the shoulder or something like that. I don't know. I don't know the aftermath of that one. Right? Yeah, those are hero moves, In 2016 or so, I had surgery on my left knee, and was on crutches and stuff, and was enjoying myself in the pool, having relations with my wife. We were all naked, and the neighbor called for a noise complaint, and Patrick Scott and Lieutenant Dolce and Cabana, that's what we were joking, we called him Cabana for years. I even put it in one of my songs, Dolce and Cabana, all cop drama, crying for your mama, right? They come around the corner. We didn't have no fence up or anything like that. We were naked, having relations in the pool. Pulled the cop block. Right? Quick, grab your clothes. Yep. You're having fun that day. Yeah, you gotta turn the radio down. Okay, I gotta put some clothes on. Get out of the pool. But my knee was really bad, it took me a bit. I was on crutches, right? Right, this is just a few years before my February arrest. We got a bunch of noise complaints. We were enjoying playing our music and having a few drinks. I was able to drink then. Not until 2019, when I started having eczema and the fluids leaking out of my feet. And I went to the foot doctor, and they did a blood test, and I had hepatitis B infection for years, apparently, and it caused scarring in my liver. And they wanted to put me on interferon, $1,500 in medical treatment, like for AIDS and shit. So I Googled it. Natural cure for hepatitis B. Olive leaf extract and zinc. Viruses can't replicate. And to help heal your liver, start doing intermittent fasting. Don't eat for 16 hours, at least. Intermittent fasting, I'm on an intermittent fast right now. I will not eat until at least 1 o'clock today. Right? And that all helps. You know? So it's needless to say, they didn't draw their firearms that time. Eventually, there was a situation where they're having a bachelor party over there, and they were touching off fireworks while my knee was healing, and I couldn't get out of bed. The wife went out there and screamed at him, you know, my fucking husband just had surgery. You gotta stop with the damn fireworks. He's trying to sleep. Please, stop it. Right? A few days later, I set off a firework of my own. Right? The police showed up and walked into my backyard looking around for any kind of firearm shell casings. Right? Oh no, that was the neighbors touching off more fireworks. Huh. Right? I've since talked to the guy who was at that bachelor party. He works with me. Right? I've made friends with my neighbor. I shot a video where a boat fell out of a trailer right at Cook's Corner and put it back on there. They stopped and helped the distress vessel and were able to right the ship, put it back on the trailer. I was like, that was freaking cool. Right? So anyway, our neighbor banter back and forth escalated to the point where the neighbors were pissed after the firecracker incident. Right? He started going every day at lunchtime. He'd go past the house, laying on the horn, disturbing the peace. Right? So I put the camera to them. I hid beside my truck. Oh, he's fixing to go back to his marine job. Right? He went by laying on the horn, and I popped up from beside my truck and pointed the camera at him. Then I proceeded to post it. And then I sent the video to his place of employment, his family business. I'll tell you what, he didn't blow his horn ever again in front of my house. Thanks for watching, Brent. Patriot. Brucey Dyer, Patriot. Zach Perry, Patriot. And TJ Watson, Patriot. No FBI, no Cumberland County Sheriff have shown up. I am an old man with bad legs, and I have no firearm to mutiny this building and arrest all inside it for crimes against humanity under international law. They have no authority as of today. I have taken their authority away with our constitutional rights. Here it is. Section 3, Article, that's Roman numerals, I'm sorry, Article 3, Section 1, I'll read the whole thing. Article 3, the judicial power of the United States shall be invested in one Supreme Court, and in such inferior courts as the Congress may from time to time ordain and establish that judges both of the Supreme and inferior courts shall hold their offices during good behavior, and shall, as stated, times receive for their services a compensation which shall not be diminished during their continuance of office. Judicial power, Section 2, shall extend to all cases of law and equity under this Constitution. The laws of the United States, treaties made, which shall be made under their authority, to all cases affect ambassadors, other ministers, and council, to all cases of admiralty and maritime jurisdiction, to all controversies to which the United States shall be a party. The controversy shall be between two or more states, between a state and a citizen, like me, or another state, between citizens of different states, between citizens of the same state, lands under grants, or different states, between a state and a citizen thereof. Foreign states, citizens, or subjects, which are police, lawyers, and judges, accredited bar association members. Right? That's why they have a bond. The registered foreign, they are landing on our shores. Pirate ashore. USC code 1661. To get out and commit hostilities upon the population, to plunder them. The trials for all crimes, except in cases of impeachment, shall be by jury. And such trials shall be held in the state where the crimes shall have been committed. But when not committed within any state, the trial shall be at such places or places as Congress may, by the law, have directed. Treason against the United States, Section 3, Article 3, shall consist only in levying war against them, in adherence to their enemies, giving them aid and comfort. Right? No person shall be convicted of treason unless on the testimony of two witnesses to the same overt act on confession in open court, on confession in open court. So, when I couldn't enter the courthouse yesterday, that's what that was. That was treason under this Article 3, Section 3. And there were more than two witnesses there. There were many, we the people of flesh and blood, not artificial, fraudulent straw men who do not exist and are a fiction. And that's who they're taking to court. The whole thing's bull stuff. When you go to court and they ask you, do you stand under my jurisdiction? Do you understand? Hell no. I don't understand shit. You're speaking Latin. You're a foreigner in my country, on my soil, taking money out of my pocket. You evil bastards committing treason. Good morning. How you doing? Are you April Burgess's friend? Okay, thank you. She put me up again. I think she has Tourette's. Just like me. Uncontrolled speech. Anyway, I'll keep looking for April's friend. Article 4, Section 1. Oh, 370 now. And my digital scanner cannot pick up that channel. We'll put it on 370. Right? We'll follow the transmission. Whatever it transmits on my analog scanner, we'll put the digital scanner on there and listen on that. Right? I don't hear any freedom going on. Right? You treasonous bastards. You kidnapped somebody yesterday or the day before. Right? Well, Zach Perry was allowed to tow his vessel away. Hero. Oh, listen to the mutilation of public records. You evil bastards. Mutilating public records. FOIA 18. USC 2071. Federal crime. Custodians to willfully conceal, mutilate, or falsify public records. Gee, I just heard it. Felonious. Federal crime. They would say, oh, well, we applied to the FCC to have these frequencies and to jam them and mutilate them, and we're allowed to do it. No, you're not. We, the people, are supreme. You have not the authority to hide public records. You're committing a federal crime every time that noise comes out of my scanner. Federal crime. Every single officer is committing a federal crime when he uses that radio that cannot be heard by the public for the purpose to plunder. And here comes a patrol without purpose. Right? This is a pirate patrol. Is there a call for service? I couldn't tell. Was that Patrick Scott? Yeah. He's not activating his spotlight. He's not violating anybody's rights right now. But he's certainly not upholding anyone's rights because he's using a felonious transmission that no one can understand. Oh, there it goes again. So he probably has a call for service of some type. Right?
Several times in the last week and a half.
Yep. I feel like I have streptococcus. Very sick. Anyway, the DA said that without receiving my statement, I cannot go back to my home. Right? They're rather enjoying this because I called 911 for help. And now it is destroying my health. And I'm ill. Right? They do this to me. Right? Destroy my lawful recordings with their spotlights. Right? Twice I believe that during the spotlighting, they were drawing their firearms and pointing them at me. Right? One was the Adam Merrill, where I flipped him off in the square body Chevy truck and cursed him. Right? For laying and waiting for me. He wouldn't come over to Rusty Lantern so we could have a little chit chat. I had his police report from my arrest in my truck for over 2 years, waiting for an opportunity to have a little discussion about that. Right? Nope, that's fake news, Mr. Cantrell. Fake news. Oh, so he was calling me a liar, is what it was. Right? I didn't lie. You did. Yeah, there comes another pirate patrol. Another pirate patrol. So there might be a call for service. And detective. Oh, it's Paige. Paige Mishu. Or Michaud. I say Michaud, but I'm sure that's wrong. It's no disrespect. It's just, once I've decided that's how I'm going to say your name, God help you. All right, well, I'm going to take a break for a little bit. Maybe take some medicine. Okay, I've reset my scanner to 155-0775. There were multiple traffic stops last night of black Hondas, SUVs by SAG Sheriff. There were at least 4 units patrolling from New Meadows exit at the West Bath District Court, and they were stopping black vehicles, meeting the description of my vehicle, left and right, for 2 hours last night. as I monitored their communications. I wrote it down. There was 3 black vehicles stopped in a row. 1, 2, 3. There were 4 units operating. 2 in Woolwich, 2 at New Meadows. And they were stopping all black SUVs. Right? Probably because of my patriotism at the West Bath District Court, right? Want to check me for firearms because I said firearm a bunch of times. Right? What do you want to bet? That's what they were doing. Hey, it's my cousin. It's Steve right there. You're on the show, Steve. Steve, my patriot cousin. Oh, here comes the black Dodge Ram pirate vessel. It's a nice looking Dodge truck. I like that. All right, yeah. Thanks. I'm going to go down through this. Thanks, Zach Perry, Patriot. Brucey Dyer, Patriot. Brent Scott. Damn right he's a Patriot. And Phillips Higgins, my co-worker from Durham Construction. Todd Bollier Construction. Yeah. He now is employed at the ship place. Right? Thanks for watching. I'm going to shut down for a minute. My voice can't take too much more of this. If I got laryngitis or what it is. I started feeling really hot at work. It was down to my t-shirt and sweating. And my throat was getting sore last night. Probably due to exposure of sleeping in my vehicle. All right, guys. If anything happens, I'll go back live.